Welcome back to the Cinema Sessions. My name is Keith, and as always, I'm joined by
Seamus. Hey guys. So Keith, what are we talking about?
We're going to do Con Air.
Con Air.
Yeah, because it's got everything, hasn't it? It's got Malkovich for your acting chops, Nicolas Cage for your action, Steve Buscemi for your comedy, and John Cusack for the gays. It's got everything. It's like a real smorgasbord, isn't it?
Well, now that we're back from the opening credits, is John Cusack a gay icon that I'm aware of?
I don't know. Because, I remember this, that quote is from Simon Pegg in a film called How to Lose Friends and Alienate People. And for anybody who doesn't see it briefly, it's like he's this fucking magazine exec or something and he's not likeable or something along those lines, if I remember correctly. That's actually where I found out he was from Gloucester, because Kirsten Dunst says Gloucester.
The hilarity. Is that any good?
I remember fucking loving it, but I'll never forget this quote, because to put me cards on the table early on, I absolutely adore Con Air, because to re-quote Simon Pegg, it's got fucking everything. It is. See, the thing is, I was almost going to come in here and say, like, do you know the way Tarantino talks about the perfect movie? Yes. I thought I regarded that as this, but it's not really, because a perfect movie has to be perfect, and unfortunately this isn't. But I think it's one of the most quotable, most fantastic action films of the 90s, like, and part of Nicolas Cage's generational late 90s run of The Rock, Face Off, Snake Eyes, and this, like, runs like that don't happen anymore, like, do you know what I mean?
No, indeed, yeah. Well,
and his choices here, Mr. Nick Cage, are sublime, and they are peak Nick Cage, like that accent. It's
a good choice, yeah.
Oh, man.
This is why he's a lunatic, is because he made that choice not to be weird or out there. He was something like, well, it's the southern, kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? But like the southern kind of, you must do the right thing, kind of nobility, I think is the word, or something like that. And that's why he did it, as opposed to just being like, wouldn't it be kind of funny if I had this? That's what makes him actually great, as opposed to someone who's like, I'll just
put the bunny back in the box.
But on that note, on the off chance anyone's uninitiated, Con Air is from 1997, directed by Simon West and written by Scott Rosenberg, starring Nicolas Cage, John Cusack, John Malkovich, Steve Buscemi and Ving Rhames. The film follows Cameron Poe, a paroled former US Army Ranger who boards a prison transport flight to return home, only to become trapped when a group of dangerous convicts led by Cyrus the Virus Grissom hijack the plane. As the crisis escalates, Poe works from inside the aircraft to stop the escape, while federal authorities race to regain control. The film has a 6.9 rating on IMDb with a Metacritic critic score of 52 and a user score of 6.8. On Rotten Tomatoes, it holds a critic score of 59% and an audience score of 75%. It grossed approximately $224 million worldwide against a budget of around $75 million. And on a personal note, folks, this is actually not an action film. Stay tuned for more, and I will fight you in the comments. Now, I said I had some thoughts, and I don't mean this in a negative way. I actually don't know that this actually is an action film. Now, what I mean by that is, the only scenes in it that I would legitimately say are unquestionably action scenes are the big shootout in the airfield at the end, and then the very ending. It is a huge spectacle film. Yeah. It's a blockbuster film. But it isn't, I don't know that it actually is. It's shot like one.
Yeah.
And it's set up like one. But I don't actually think it is.
Because there is a lot of talking.
Yeah.
Very good talking.
It's a bunch of weird characters on a plane.
Like,
that's the thrill of it. Like,
a la Snakes on the Plane, like, you know what I mean? But another modern classic.
Indeed.
But I totally agree with you. Because what happens is, during the middle of this film, before they land at Lerner Airfield, there's a lot of, okay, they're on the plane and all these mad personalities are bouncing off each other, and then they're panicking. Colomini and John Cusack down on the ground are panicking, like, do you know what I mean? Yeah. And then it's back on the plane, and then it's back to them. Now it's never boring. Do you know what I mean? In my estimation, like, but I totally agree with you. It isn't but then what do you? Because it's not an out and out comedy. Yeah. Although it is hilarious.
It's hard to say. Well, like someone might sound off saying I'm talking out my hoop, but it opens with a fight scene at a bar, and you know when they take over the plane.
I take a beating in half my life.
Yeah, they are. I
don't know why he's from the hood.
If it was, there's no real equivalent to it, but like it. You wouldn't call, say, Crimson Tide an action film. That's shot in kind of a similar way. And there's scenes where people are like beating each other up in it. But it's not an action film. So it's like even a thriller.
But even any sort of violence, hand-to-hand violence in this, it's not like, it's made to look like these aren't trained professionals, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Except Nick Cage, like. But I always found it funny the way to go, is it this one? Or am I getting it confused with something else? I think it's this where he goes, given your training. I think you're a lethal weapon or something.
Yeah, when the judge sentences him. Yeah. Now, the film sets out its stock very early. So I should maybe give my history with this. I first saw this on VHS, rented out, and I was really psyched up for it. The first time I saw it, I remember, because I was expecting an action film, I remember being actually kind of disappointed with it. And there's still some stuff today that I'm like, I can kind of see why my younger self was like, oh, this is a bit disappointing.
Now, hopefully your older self realises the error of his ways.
There's bits in it, like, for example, Colin Meaney knows exactly what film he's in.
Yeah.
And is, like, everyone in it is kind of great, but he is just like...
Perfect.
That is it.
We spoke last week about Conan the Barbarian, and my major issue with it being that it takes itself way too seriously. This film... And everybody in it knows exactly what it is, knows exactly what they're doing. And they're just shy of winking at the camera. But they do enough. They know they're self-aware enough to know what's going on here.
Yeah.
We are making a chaotic, ridiculous concept of a film. Do you know what I mean? And they love it. And I love it.
Well, I kind of miss this in films, and you can't really describe it as being like, you know, trying for an emotion, but this is a film, like a testosterone-filled film for men. And the opening bit of it is like Nicolas Cage walking in, and the sound's like, how do I? And I was like, it's so... I'm not saying it's like sincere, but what I am saying is it isn't like... It's just doing that, like, and it expects that reaction out of it.
I know, like, because when I'm watching that and that song comes on, and like, I'm in it. Do you know what I mean? I'm not like, oh, this is supposed to be an action film. Like, maybe today all these bleeding edgelords on the internet would be like, they're trying to, it's woke or something.
Cooked, exactly. The fuck,
Like, how dare you love your wife?
How could he beat up that guy in the bar? He's literally me. That guy. I'm right about this. I think the guy in the bar, who is maybe slightly OTT, not the actor, but he's Waingro in Heat, I want to say.
Is he?
I'm pretty sure he is, yeah. Because I remember going, I fucking know that guy. And he looks quite different as Waingro, but he has the beard, and I think it's him, yeah.
I suppose we'll start off with, what happened to Monica Potter? Like, what's she doing with herself?
Yeah, she
was in a load of shit.
She was in a load of stuff around.
She was in a load of films about strong men and the women who loved them.
Yeah, she was in, was it Along Came a Spider?
That's right, yeah. She's in Saw as well.
Is she?
Yeah, she's Dr. Gordon's wife, I want to say.
I forgot about that, right. Yeah. She had a good run of it, and then...
She's like Amy Smart.
There were a few actresses around that time who you saw them in. Like, what was the one? She was in one of the Fast and the Furious... Devon Aoki or something like that. She was a model / actress. And Shannon Sossaman as well, who was in a ton of, like, 3 or 4 big movies, and then just kind of...
And Eva Mendes as well. She's a bit later now, but...
she just stopped acting.
But the only reason I still know she exists is because she's married to Ryan Gosling. Like, do you know what I mean?
I think she made a fortune in clothes or something.
Yeah, but to be fair, like, she stepped aside so Ryan could... You know what I mean?
Being Blade Runner 2049 on her.
Pretty much, like. Do you know what I mean? Because they just had kids and everything, and they didn't want to both be away.
No, Monica Potter's very good in this. She has a kind of limited role, but like, to be fair, no one in the film has any
all women
actual...
in the 90s.
Yeah,
like, even this good-looking board that, like, at the very start, you know when John Cusack is going through...
Yes.
Like, what's she there for?
I wanted to talk about her actually, because she's another interesting actress who was in a load of stuff at the time.
Yeah, she's very striking eyes.
Very striking looking woman. She was in, she's at the very end of the theatrical cut of Army of Darkness. She's the misogyny alert bitch girlfriend in Wedding Singer. And she had a part in Seinfeld is one of it. She's the maid. She was his maid in Seinfeld, and then they started going out. So he was like, "I'm paying her, but we just have sex." She's like a prostitute. What's the deal with her? So she was in a ton of stuff, and she's quite recognizable. But she does look fantastic in this. They chose a good actress for someone just.
I think for the
she's
specific
literally
reason,
set
like-
dressing in one shot, which we'll talk about later. But yeah, the film now. Some of the film's one-liners are absolutely transcendently great. There's some stuff in the opening bit where I'm like, yeah, like, I wish that were a bit better written. Like the guy is such an arsehole in the back, like, why did you go have a beer with me and my friends? And I was like, and I was like, do you know this gentleman, honey? Now I'm like, the guys, I just wish they'd tweak the guys a little more, but the way Nicolas Cage is, and I'm like, that's kind of perfect. That's kind of what you want. And then he does they don't do this in movies anymore. He kills him by sending his nose bone up into his brain.
Yeah.
They need to bring that back.
Yeah, 100%. Like, do you know what I mean? Because they overcomplicate things now, like, because everything has to be wire work and fucking choreography and all this. Like, just punch him in the fucking nose, like.
I know, yeah. So
I thought that'd be a lot bigger deal in life than it actually is. Like, you know, when you're a kid, like, I had genuine anxiety that someone might punch me in the nose and my nose won't go up into my brain. Like.
Yeah. I want to say the first time I saw it was in the film I bring up every opportunity, Last Boy Scout, but it was probably in something before that. But it was a kind of it's like the Pulp Fiction thing. There were a few movies after where you have to stab someone in the heart with the yoke, and then they kind of seem to move on from it. But bring it back. It's due a relaunch than Bone into the brain. So then, actually, I forgot to mention, because I noticed this, I just miss as well this kind of excess in films. It starts off with a voiceover, which is slightly eye-rolling for non-military people. It's like, you're an Army Ranger and you gentlemen are the best. It sounds like, if it's not him, it sounds exactly like a very well-known actor called Powers Booth. And I'm pretty sure it is. Who was like, what? They didn't just get some random guy. They got like a guy they would have had to pay like for how tiny it is, quite a bit of money. And I kind of miss things being that stupidly excessive.
Yeah, no, but that's the thing.
I had to spend the old money.
Yeah, I love the use of language there, excess, because this is pure 90s action excess. Like, and for anybody just listening, I did air quotes. But because that's what it is. That's exactly what it is. Like, who did you say wrote this?
I would have thought he would be more Scott Rosenberg, it says. I would imagine there were 20 other people, like, you know, tidying it up and all this.
Yeah. Because, I mean, like you said, like, I mean, the one-liners and some of the dialogue, like, especially, like, you look at characters that we meet later, like Darlene Green, Steve Buscemi, like, some of the stuff that, now, obviously, you have a great actor in Steve Buscemi, but, like, it's fan-bloody-tastic, like, even when he's sitting down with the child and everything. Like,
yeah, that is another part that I have thoughts on, but we'll get not in a. I think that does mean in a negative way, but I have opinions about it, but not necessarily in a negative way.
Yeah, so I mean, after he kills the guy, gets sentenced.
Yeah,
and then we move into this kind of long.
I like the montage.
Yeah, it's very good.
Of him in prison, like it's believable and it moves quickly, and like the fucking accent. The accent was such a genius move. Like like you try and think of it in another way, and
because I used to think that this is peak caginess. Like, this is just a mad choice from a fucking lunatic. Like, you know what I mean? But I cannot imagine him doing it himself, like a normal accent.
No,
like,
it wouldn't.
I mean?
I can't imagine it.
And especially with the hair and everything, because I guarantee you that's not a director's choice. That's I'm thinking of growing out my hair.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
he does say at one point, I was meant to get a haircut, and you're like, yes, that would have been a good choice. Yeah. No, it's good, and they set him up. I was so his buddy in prison is, I think it's pronounced Michael T. Wilson, I want to say, the guy from Bubba from Forrest Gump. Yeah. So I looked him up, and he was charged with manslaughter because he killed a man or something.
When?
Yeah, he killed
recently,
a few years ago, but he was cleared of it because it was ruled self-defense. But I think it went to trial and everything.
So he was Cameron Poe.
They stick him on a fucking plane and John Malkovich.
What are you doing here?
Drunk driving.
You made up from a nightmare.
Well, I hadn't made that parallel, but there you go. Yeah, the guy got stabbed, which is a nice way of saying I'm pretty sure Michael T. Is it Wilkinson or Wilson? Anyway, Williamson. I split the difference there. But yeah, he. There you go. I don't know what to say.
Life imitating art.
Indeed, yeah. But it's kind of a nice setup, and I love how there's a rake of stuff in this that you're just like, if you give it a moment's thought, you're like, that's what. Why is that happening?
But you don't give it a moment's
thought. But you don't know.
Don't even try and over contextualize
and
this.
they do it so well, like it's
because it's great. Because I love the fact that it's like splitting. Because he's reading, you're hearing the narration of the daughter, and you know, it's there's something like really sweet about that. Because you know me, I like in this type of film, I just want you to don't over fluff it, don't overdo it. But that's just it's just perfect to me. The way you feel there's a connection there. When he hasn't even met her, like, which I think is a bit fucking much now, but like, you know what I mean? She's about 7
Yeah,
or
they
something.
need that contrivance. I think it does make it work. Well, what I like about it is, and I am not saying now it's any, you know, kind of high art or anything, as we were accused of not being on YouTube recently. But when I say, like, you hear stories about it in the 1940s, how they made movies, they'd be like, it's a story, it's got action, it's got heart, it's got like a melodrama. And they're totally sincere about, but in a way that's like not pure artistry in a way, but it's like, they're like, I take my job very seriously and I want to give people a good time. And that's what I see in this film. I see a sincerity. I'm not saying I see like a Wong Kar-wai movie about love and all this, but what I do see is people who are like, I want to entertain you and make you feel something. And it never tips.
They could have called the plane the Chungking Express.
It wouldn't have been something. Yeah, Chungking Express too. But like, it is just people like it to their own way of doing things, being sincere and like not. It just doesn't tip into manipulation. I find it's just sits where it is.
Yeah.
No, the movie's got to have a heart, and the heart is this. And a bunch of talented craftspeople made that happen. And I'm like, I appreciate that. That's good.
There's a great creator on TikTok, and their name is eluding me, but they do this really. It's like the execs before they greenlit the Fast and the Furious or something like that. And it's like. Look, it's gonna have this. It's gonna have cars. It's gonna have Vin Diesel. It's gonna have The Rock. It's gonna, and it's just, I just got very reminiscent of them. You know, I wish I could shout them out, but I can't remember. I'm sorry.
No, well, that was a part. The guy. So this is produced by Jerry Bruckheimer, and his
talk about
assistant,
a generational run as well. Like
he
him in the
well,
90s and early 2000s, and he's even having a bit of a renaissance. Like, do you know what I mean?
Well, he did all them. I want to say he was involved in Transformers. Like, he's more money than God. Like, but his partner before this, who died before the, Don Simpson, that's apparently what he was like. He would literally snort cocaine and then just freestyle into a tape recorder.
So the gas thing is, we all do that when we do cocaine. The problem is, we're not Jerry Bruckheimer.
Exactly. Well, he would. I think he's even a, what do they call in the States, straight edge. I don't know that Jerry Bruckheimer even drinks, like, but, and the other guy was completely the opposite.
Oh, Don Simpson.
Yeah. And he would, and he'd be like, type that up, and then the next day he'd be like, no, fucking fighter pilots at school, there's something there. Like, apparently that's kind of how the guy worked. And well, fair enough, it was the 80s after all. Did put him in an early grave, but you know. So then we get
Born
into
in the candle of how it ends. But what a beautiful flame it creates.
He burnt so bright, very brightly. Then we get into, now this is the kind of run of it, and there's a sequence coming up that is the film's equivalent of an action scene, but isn't quite there yet. But we get a lot of good stuff, like they introduce Rachel Ticotin, I think is how you pronounce it, who is Arnie's other love interest in Total Recall. She's the female guard.
Oh,
There is some nice interaction there where she doesn't have...
She's very good.
They don't make her too nice. She treats them like... Because Nicolas Cage, it's a picture of my daughter. No way she was going to see me. And she talks to him like, you're a fucking idiot. Like, I'm like the teacher and you're the student. She's like, you know what you got there? Walking, talking, reason. And she's not like...
Reason to rehabilitate.
She's not being like actually nice to him. She's just like, pull your head out of your ass, man.
Fair.
Yeah. That, you know, there's films that fuck that up. And she's just like, I'm so happy for you. I've seen films where they fuck something like that up and they don't in this. And the way actually even Michael T. Wilkinson's giving her a bit of sass. Like, he's like, you didn't give me my insulin. Where is it? And she's like...
That fucking insulin.
It'll be on the plane. Yeah. And she's like, I don't care. Because she doesn't, like, what do I give a fuck?
Yeah.
That stuff's all very good and, like, again, nice craft to it. Simon West, the film looks like a blockbuster, and it's I'm like, how does he do? Because there's a lot of people.
Because I mean, even that sequence that we're talking about, it's just them. A lot of like a lot of mid shots of them sitting on a bus. Like there's nothing special happening, but it's just very well. It's a guy who knows what he's doing. Like, do you know what I mean?
The DP was a guy, David Tattersall, who did. He's a very good DP. Like he did. Say what you will about them, but he lit the Star Wars prequels and he did a load of big movies. Like he's obviously a go-to guy. But Simon West had chops as well. Like the one he did after this, it's again not amazing. But General's Daughter, again, it's nearly shot like a blockbuster, but it's just like kind of a murder mystery thing. Then we're introduced to, now again, is John Cusack a gay icon? I don't know about.
I'd love it. Let us know in the comments. LGBT alphabet boys.
That'll get us negative and positive again.
But anyway, let us know. Is he? Because obviously that's a quote from a film, but obviously that has to have some sort of.
Yeah, I know he was a huge actor for movie fans in the 90s. He had a great run of it, and like Grosse Point Blank was a big
Serendipity
film for a lot of us.
I love that.
Is that the one with Cat? No, it's is that Kate Beckinsale?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I only saw the trailer for that.
Okay.
But have you seen Grosse Point Blank?
Yes, I have.
Oh, yeah.
Brilliant.
Well,
what a film.
I'm glad you said it that way. Everyone should have seen that film.
Yeah.
That was such a huge film for
brilliantly
kind of film fans, and it was like a genuinely good Tarantino-esque kind of a film. He's fucking brilliant in that. I always had the impression he was a super nice guy, John Cusack, and apparently he's not.
Is he not?
I've just heard he's
I
very.
assume him and his sister are like fucking the nicest people ever.
Yeah, I assume that. I started thinking that around the time of Grosse Point Blank for it, because I'm like, he's really into this film, and this film's so cool. Apparently he's quite grumpy and can be difficult to work with.
No way.
Yeah, and he's kind of bad-mouthed this
John.
film a bit, yeah.
Bad-mouthed this?
It said on the IMDb trivia, yeah. This struck me as something he would not take seriously, and he's like, oh yeah, whatever, I just did that, like whatever.
Yeah. But like, I mean, because obviously, right, we have the intro scene of all the fucking. This is brilliant.
This is
like, what a way. We were speaking about how last week about how Conan fails with the whole myth making and all this. This does it in brief exploratory dialogue, and it's fucking fantastic.
Well, the film has a great run here because we're introduced to Colm Meaney, who pulls up in Ireland's own Colm Meaney, playing
one of our greatest exports,
playing an arsehole Yank, who pulls up in a convertible car called Ass Kicker is on the thing.
But if you want, like here's how you introduce a character. Because we know exactly with him barely saying a fucking word, we know exactly who this guy is. One, his license plate says Ass Kicker, as you say. He completely ignores John Cusack and he parks in a disabled spot. Like, you know exactly who you're dealing with. Like, do you know what I mean?
That is legit. Like, look, as I say, is it Wongar Wai? No, but it is the peak of what this film wants to be. Like,
exactly, and it's perfectly.
And the way the shots in this, like the way he directed it is fucking brilliant. So he shows up. Then there's the great all those scenes like them it's just them in the back of a truck, but the way it's filmed and everything, and we get the feeling like he's really at loggerheads with John Cusack.
Yeah, immediately because
what's with this guy?
Because I think it's the quintessential. This was the culture war in the 90s, because John Cusack is the typical liberal. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, he's a pure product of the system. Like, it's all the state's fault. And then he's like, what the fuck? Like, Colm Meaney just doesn't fucking appreciate that whatsoever. He's the red state, like, do you know what I mean?
No, there's a load of great stuff in that, because actually, I don't know who the older guy who's like John Cusack's kind of boss. I don't know who he is, but there's John Cusack, Colm Meaney, and I can't remember the other guy's name. It's something like Jorge Sanchez or something like that. The guy who goes on the plane.
Potentially racist.
Yeah, and it is something like that. Check that out. Hopefully it's more racist than the name I came up with it for. I've seen him in a ton of stuff, and even he's great in that little scene. It speaks to the director just going, go on, lads, eat it. Because there's a bit where they're like, no, we can't take the gun on the plane. Like, and then he goes, don't do this. And the guy goes, Larkin, I got it. And like, I know it sounds stupid, but he was given the space and time to not just say, Larkin, I got it. Because you might go, well, that's what's written on the... He actually gave it a little bit of personality, the way he said it. And I was like, that's nice. There's good stuff in this film.
Now, logic issue here, right? Because he explains to him that there's a lockbox in the cockpit. And there's a small arsenal.
I'm so pleased you bring this up.
A small arsenal in the belly of the plane. What the fuck's it doing there? Like, do you know what I mean?
And I caught that one of the times I was watching it, because they just throw it away as in like, and obviously we've
an arsenal in the plane.
Huh, why is that?
Well, they have to, like, I mean, they obviously have to set up, because they have to have some sort of weaponry for the end, big shootout, like, but
And there's another bit with that.
Why
where,
do they have 47 shotguns? Is the question. Like,
well, they have to set up as now. Granted, this is pre 9/11, but at the same time, they have to set it up later because Colm Meaney's like, "You arsehole," and we're supposed to be like, "Colm Meaney's an arsehole," but John Cusack's like, "We don't have a contingency plan for situations like this. They don't exist," and you're like. That is a bit incompetent. You should have kind of thought of this. Like, you should have a fucking plan here. But the idea is the situation's so big, it's like out of control. But yeah, we kind of mentioned it earlier, but this is the film's true genius set piece, which is here's these fucking lunatics that we're putting on the plane, and they have this completely unrealistic but amazing voiceover combined with amazing shots, perfect choice of actors. And brilliant music and everything. Yeah, it's pure,
obviously,
cinema.
Yeah, absolute cinema.
Yeah,
but it is.
Is it
really,
absolute or pure cinema?
I think it's absolute.
Probably right. Yeah,
absolute. Yeah. But,
thank you. Thanks, Jamie. I actually fucked because I think I corrected somebody the other day and I said the wrong one. Bollocks.
But yeah, this is brilliant. Like, I mean, because you have obviously John Malkovich as Cyrus the Virus. Like, what a fucking... Like, I mean, even though... Like, I mean, you told me a little anecdote last week after we finished up.
Ah, yes. He told it on Bill Maher's podcast because I went back and watched it, and he said he was working on a screenplay for, like, a serious, kind of personal project with a very highfalutin kind of British screenwriter. And the script for this arrived, and he said, well, I thumbed through it, and I saw, like, Con Air, Jerry Bruckheimer, and then I saw... His take was some of the characters seemed to be named after... Renaissance era poets or some kind of thing like that. And he said, the guy asked, John, would you mind if I read this? Because I'd like to get a feel for it. And he was like, sure. And he says, the next morning, the guy goes, John, I'm just so pleased to be working with you because you have such integrity. I know you would never make this film. And he goes, well, let me tell you something. It's Jerry Bruckheimer. The characters are named after French Renaissance poets. I'm doing it. And he's very memorable in this.
He is brilliant.
It's a signature role for him. Like, I'm sorry, John,
the thing about it is, like, I jokingly at the start in the quote, I'm saying you have John Malkovich for your acting chops. But this guy is taking this as seriously as you can, right? While
as
still having fun.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he's fucking so memorable. He's so brilliant in it. And like even the kind of hero shot where the camera's looking up at him as he's about to step off the bus to get on the plane. And it's just fucking amazing. And then also you have Ving Rhames as like Diamond Dog and but was
and
this
Nick
a bit of a trope?
This the other guy,
Billy Bedlam.
Billy Bedlam, yeah.
But was it? Do you know the black guy who became like a Malcolm X type? I've seen a few of them. Like,
I wanted to talk about that, and I don't want to skip too much over how they, because this is such a good scene. But I found it very interesting, and I hate to be one of these guys who wouldn't do that today. But John Cusack's character is set up in the night, and he was in the 90s. Like, there's the liberal character. When he's introducing him, he's like, his book was called A Wake Up Call, and he has this kind of like, aren't these arseholes who would actually take this guy seriously? Aren't they kind of idiots? And he goes, they're talking to Denzel for the movie. And he's treating it like it's ridiculous. In a movie today, I don't think they'd have the balls to actually be like, well, this guy's a kind of a Black Panther-esque guy and we're not going to take it that seriously. And then I think his character would actually like have some back and forth with Colm Meaney where he's like, oh, well, who's to say he's wrong or something. Whereas in the film, he's like, oh yeah, these Hollywood Egypts want to make a movie about this guy they don't understand. And I'm like, I still live in that world. Like, I'm sorry. I'm 42 years old. Like, but I found that like a weirdly kind of time capsule moment.
Yeah, 100%. And then we're introduced to Dave Chappelle as well.
Yes.
Who
has to introduce him. He actually introduces himself on the plane, I want to say. He doesn't get like the big introduction. Like
no, he doesn't. But he does have a fucking great, because he's asked to open his mouth and he goes, damn, smells like someone shit in your mouth. And he goes, he told me he loved me.
Yeah, he is great in this.
He's fucking, like he's, some of the lines and how he delivers them, like he's a really talented actor, like, do you know what I mean? As
part of the IMDb trivia said he improved a lot of it, which I believe. Yeah. It seems that way, yeah. No, I did want to say, I remember distinctly watching this, and I think when I really started to appreciate it, though I did like it. I remember I'd been working that day on like, I used to be a camera assistant back in the day, and we were sweating our balls off to get whatever shots we got. And then we went home and remember me and the DP were just, we'll chill out and watch Con Air. And we were watching the scene and it was like nearly depressing because we were breaking our bollocks to get like fairly unspectacular shots, and then we're watching the scene and we're like,
And it's like,
oh God, because it's like there's a shot of John Malkovich walking out of the bus with a helicopter hovering in like the exact right spot in the background, and like having been on a set that day, I just remember going, that must have taken a million fucking years to get that shot. And you wouldn't even you're watching good filmmaking, say, but you have no idea how hard it would be to get. Because there's fucking helicopters hovering in exactly the right spot through the whole scene. And you're like, that must have taken fucking ages.
Yeah.
And then you go like, what scene is this? Oh, where they get off a bus and we introduce them. And you're spending 10 days on it. Oh, wait till you see it now.
Yeah.
See it. And it is...
Can you imagine the exec saying, cut it, or something like, do you know what I mean? Or short, or why do we need a helicopter? Like, well, I'll tell you why you need a fucking helicopter, because it's fucking perfect. That's
I remember that was in every fucking preview. It was in like every fucking trailer and all this. And the dialogue is like, it's so unrealistic, because it's like, why would a guy in a van just be like, they say he did this and he drove across 3 states but it's so fucking awesome.
It's just
fucking,
great.
Yeah.
And the way, because
they're horrible people, of course.
Because the way it juxtaposes as well between the back of the van and these fucking well fucking done shots outside, like it's just fucking really good, like, do you know what I mean?
It's brilliant, It's just
because I mean, at the end of the day, if I'm not mistaken, when it cuts back to the van, there's a few close-ups, but it's essentially just locked off with the 3 of them in shot. Like,
it is, it's all well done, but it is like it doesn't look that jarring, but at the same time, like it's that stuff where they're coming out. That's where the movie fucking lives. It's amazing. It really, like, it's, don't want to understate like how good the filmmaking is in that bit. Yeah,
and then obviously there's the big thing here of he takes the prison guard takes the Cameron Poe's daughter's picture.
Yes, yeah.
You know, I'll be getting that back later.
I like, he doesn't really back down. Like, you can tell, like, he's not an angel, like, at the same time.
Oh, yeah, no, like, but he stands on business, like, like all good Marines.
Is this is the first meme from the film, or at least I've
when
seen
he steps off
when he steps off, he's like,
wins,
and it's so big, and you're like, yes.
One of the funniest ones I've ever seen was a guy standing next to the screen, and as he's standing off, he just goes.
Oh yeah, but I just love that, because in a subtler film you wouldn't have a moment like that, but it does say something about like, that feeling when this happens.
Yeah.
Perfect, there it is. And I like how, isn't it just John, because like, that's Cameron Poe, it's a nobody. It's a parolee hitching right home, and you're like, yeah, there we go. Then Colmini makes the bizarre choice to give the guy a gun, even though he doesn't really need, and it doesn't really come to much, that, to be honest.
No.
It kind of sets up Colmini being nuts later on.
Yeah.
But he gives him a gun, what it.
But he kind of, because it's, he's going to do that, because he goes, don't worry, I got it, and he basically winks at him, like, you know what I mean? Like,
fair play. I do actually like the guard, the kind of. He's not racist, but he is kind of racist.
No, but he treats them all with disdain.
It was like, look at this fashion, get that do-rag off, homeboy. And you're like, ooh.
Because I mean, we move on then.
They're all equally worthless.
Yeah. But they're all on the plane, and John Malkovich calls him over.
Yes.
He goes, stewardess.
Yeah.
What's the in-flight movie today? Like, fucking brilliant.
Now, okay, this was one of the things that the first time I saw it, I was like, now, I like the bit where he's like, stewardess. What I have a problem with is he initially calls him over and he's like, hey, come here. Oh, stewardess. And I'm like,
I get it.
It was a little like, I'm just like, just have him walk by, or he's doing something and he's a stewardess. Because I'm like, it's just an off kind of a rhythm to it.
Yeah.
And there's one or two bits like that through the whole film. And there's a few lines that are actually, there's a bit where, Colin Meaney earlier goes about John, who is this guy? And he's like, he's one of the best we got. And he goes, yeah, I still want to crush his larynx with my boot. And I'm like, that's a little too wordy. I'd still like to kick his ass. Like that, my line is shite as well.
Yeah, but he's an asshole. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, anything.
Yeah, like, well, he has some lines later that I am like,
perfect.
Like, absolute chef's kiss. And I'm like, that's a little too long, that one. It's a little too overly written or something. That's, again, like, nowadays I'm just like, there he said it.
I like the way the guard gives it back to Malkovich, like, do you know what I mean? He goes, the film is, it's one that's called I'm Never Having Steak Again, followed by the award-winning short, I'll never make love to a woman on a beach again.
I do like that's good stuff, like, and your man delivers it really well.
Very good, he's a great talented actor,
very good guy. I think I've seen him, like, I looked him up, I can't remember. So then,
and here's where the film lives for me, in the fact that as soon as they're pushing off or pushing back or whatever they call it, the plane is gone.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
They've taken
No,
the
they don't
plane,
waste
like.
any time. Yeah,
And you know me, when it comes to logic, this seems, if the fucking dominoes fell correctly, like it's plausible. Like, do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
not so off the beaten track where
I
it's like,
liked how they kicked it off. I thought that was genuinely clever and like weird and like, you know, that he had the thing that would light him up.
because we have the scene where Dave Chappelle introduces himself and he goes, "What's up, Coach Cheeks?" and all this,
Yeah.
like to the guy, and he basically there's a shot of him pulling out the match and and it's really fucking, there's something about it like that's ugh.
Yeah, and
it
I
makes
do
you
remember
gag,
watching
like.
it going like, is Poe kind of an arsehole for not fucking telling on him? Because he'd be like, yeah. But then you just assume it's drugs or something.
Yeah,
you wouldn't
yeah,
assume
yeah.
he's going to fucking...
Yeah, he goes, and I love the way he goes, if you come out of this all right, no hard feelings, okay?
Yeah.
And then he lights him on fire, and one of my favourite lines in the entire film, "The last Mohican is burning, man."
And he also says spontaneous combustion. No, and actually, I looked this up because I had a feeling the guy he lit up, I was like, he is the guy from Back to the Future. He's one of the, who are Libyan terrorists. He's the Libyan terrorist who
way.
shoots the doc. It's the same guy, yeah.
Jesus.
I know.
And
Yeah.
because the thing that I like about this is because they follow certain, because obviously the plane is full of them.
Yeah.
And some of them are just nondescript and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But the likes of him, you notice him throughout.
He pops up throughout.
Yeah. And it's very good. And I love the fact that he sizzles the whole time.
And
then,
and I do like their plot for taking it
actually,
over.
we forgot to mention the introduction of Danny Trejo, which
Yes.
I thought was
Oh my
fucking
God.
really cool because obviously Cyrus the Virus recognises him.
Yeah.
And I thought it was fucking amazing that he goes, oh yeah, and he's giving it all, like, do you know what I mean? And he's, they call me Johnny 600 if they knew the truth. And then John Malkovich just looks at him and goes, I despise rapists. Like, what a bleeding...
I found that interesting that they did make him like kind of a noble villain in a way. Like he's meant to be a little bit sympathetic, Cyrus the Virus, which I find
It's a bit crazy because he's meant to be a fucking sociopath.
Yeah,
like, do you
he's
know what I mean?
absolute, yeah.
The only thing I can see is we do need stakes here because we do need to... Jordan, in the logic of the film, and Jordan, you do have to kind of be on his side as well. Like, do you know what I mean? You can't be just totally against him.
I think there's some of the enjoyment.
It gives you someone to hate. And someone to go, oh, he's a real piece of shit. Like, do you know
he's
what I
a
mean?
real bad guy.
And he is. Like, do you know what I mean?
And it does, it's a nice bit of work. Like, he's speaking Spanish to him. So you're like, okay.
Which always,
he's
but, do you know what annoys me? Why he turns down to call me Johnny 600 to clearly speak Spanish guard, like, do you know what I mean? Why should not,
good point.
Why should not just continue, like, do you know what I mean?
One wonders.
And I'd love to know if John Malkovich, he's speaking Spanish, but I'd love to know, like, because it seems like
he's Spanish any good,
like the gringo accent, like.
You'd wonder, apparently he speaks French fluently. Whether that translated into some kind of...
Doesn't surprise me about that.
Yeah, he has that kind of an air about it. He did make a few just like French language films, because I remember when I read the trivia on this, he got bored with getting offered villain roles after this, so he made movies in Europe, and he did make just what seemed to be French language films. I'd never seen any of them. He did a really good one years after this where he didn't get too tired of villains, called Ripley's Game, where he's the character. That was, I remember switching it off because there's a horrible moment of social embarrassment like 10 minutes into it, and I can't handle that. And then I went back and rewatched it, and I just kind of closed my eyes and fucking covered my ears, and it's amazing, that film. If you have Ripley's Game, I want to say it's fucking brilliant. Anyway, we digress. I do like how it's kind of clever and it's kind of plausible how they take over the plane. There's a bit of just, they just pull the lever and all this, but it seems believable. Like they create this horrible panic.
Again, I have to sing the praises of Dave Chappelle because even the way he kind of, oh yeah, quick, get him, and he just slips off and then gets the keys, like, do you know what I mean? There's something about it, like, he is a Weasley little crackhead, like, do you know what I mean? And that's exactly what they do, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They take the fucking cacks out of your bleeding trousers and you wouldn't even notice, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he played that well, yeah. This is what I mean, though. If it was another kind of a film, if it wasn't Jerry Bruckheimer, now there is action stuff in it. This is not what I would call an action scene. Like there is, like not in the terms of like the strictest sense of like a car chase is obviously action, or the scene where everyone has shotguns later on, everyone's blowing up is an action scene. It's a scene of action instead of an action scene, if that kind of makes sense. It's good. I love there's just a shot of John Malkovich where he's like has his handcuffs and he's like like because he's just create chaos and just fucking put these guards off their fucking on the back foot and all this. This is where the insulin get crushed. We should probably that's a key plot point. But yeah, in pretty short order, now it does rest on the pilot acting like a complete fucking idiot. Because he comes out of the thing like, hey, what's going on? They just hid behind the door. But it was
I never even fucking noticed that or cared.
The thing is, because that's the kind of thing that maybe I should be more annoyed about it, but I can imagine people today. But it is hard to explain. Like pre 9/11, you just kind of didn't think about things. You
just rock
like
up and put your fucking
now I'm sure people watching it now, like people born after that, be like, oh, that cockpit would be fucking bulletproof and it'd be this and the door wouldn't be possibly be open, and you're like, well, back then you didn't fucking think of it. Like it was just, now granted on this plane maybe they should have.
Yeah.
But no, it's
literally the worst. It's usually a fucking trope of a line in a film. Oh, these are the worst of the worst. But they've literally tried to make these the worst of the worst possible. Like,
isn't the idea? I was thinking about it last night was because the whole thing we're putting him into this new supermax prison for the worst of the worst, and then I'm like, was the prison empty now? Like half these cunts are dead. Like, so I'm like, oh, we've spent millions on that fucking prison, and now we've no one to put in it.
But it's America. I'm sure they'll find some black people.
Yeah, they just put fucking immigrants in it now or something. Oh Jesus, in 5 years that clip will still be relevant.
Yeah.
So then after that, pretty soon after that, a status quo kind of gets established.
Equilibrium amongst the convicts.
And then our DEA friend decides to...
What a fucking Egypt. Because, I mean, I'm sorry, right? Because he plays it very well. No question about the guy playing
he's a good actor, that guy.
But how stupid... These guys are meant... Because they're meant to be trained, like, in this type of shit. Like, you sit there, you keep your mouth shut, and you see what's going on. What do you think you're going to achieve? Do you know what I mean? Genuinely, like...
With, like, a fucking... plane full of people
with a gun that's about the size of fucking
I remember, this is so stupid, but I was watching it last night and I was like, do you know what he should have done? He should have said, you know what, man, it's a very symbolic moment for me, let me open my cuffs on my feet. And I was like, that would have solved this problem. But then that's not fair, to be to be honest with the fit. Like, your point is fine because it's about your state of mind, but my thing is like, you know what I mean? But it did occur to me like that would have saved. At the same time.
And it's just the way he dies. It kind of turns into a big nothing burger because it's made into this big whole thing that he's gonna fucking.
And did you notice this as well? The film isn't as bloody as it, because he shoots that guy who comes after him in the neck, but you don't see Anthony at all. Like, and he just gets shot once, which I found. Kind of disappointing, but I suppose Malkovich is
maybe John Malkovich knows that you could decompress the plane. Like,
do you know what? I actually, in defense of the film, when I watched it, I got the vibe that that's what they were doing. He wants to save bullets.
Just think about it. Like, anytime you've ever seen a gun on a plane and it goes off, the fucking side of the plane is open. Like, do you know what I mean?
And that's the end of that.
That's it. Like, do you know what I mean? So I think that was a conscious decision to like.
I genuinely think it was. Yeah,
some thought went into it. Like,
and then I think the next kind of plot development is like, so...
Do you know what I actually loved here? We spoke about Nicolas Cage maybe not being an angel. Like, the part where your man's on his knees and looks up at him, and then he won't even give him the dignity of looking him in the eye. Like, you fucked yourself, mate. Do you know what I mean? Like,
oh, you idiot!
Yeah, and he just looks away.
It has to be like that. And it is plausible that we know he was actually trying to help, but Cyrus the Virus is like, cheers, man.
Yeah.
You fucking give me
and
a solid
then Bubba sits down, says to him, you just made friends with Cyrus the damn virus.
What a great fucking name, like Cyrus the Virus. Chef's kiss on that. That is amazing. Yeah, and I like how he does. Like, you can totally see from Cyrus's point of view, be like, oh, that guy's working out, and he's a sharp cookie. That guy. Yeah, you're like, I kind of see why he thinks that.
See, because the next thing up is where are we gonna go, and we land at Culver,
Carson City.
Carson City. That's the one. Yeah.
Well, there's a bit after I do. This is again now. I just go, like. It did slightly bother me because they go, we need people to get off the plane. There's a great bit with Dave Chappelle where he's like, this dude with a bullet in his head is blah, blah, blah.
Popovich.
And it's like, and he goes, you didn't mean that dirty. Well, I won't say the word. And he's like, Malkovich is great. He goes, give me the gun. Hell yes, I did. And he doesn't even hesitate. As soon as he has it in his hand, yes, I did. Just to fuck with him. Like, So I did have a slight logic problem with Nicolas Cage says, okay, I'm going to get off.
Yeah.
And Bubba's like, yeah, me too. I did have a problem with how easy they just go, all right, yeah. No, I would have thought they'll give him a really hard time. Like him just saying at the last second, actually, no, I changed my mind. I'm like, these guys wouldn't fucking play with that. Like,
no.
You,
it
man,
is a big logic
it.
issue because, and it is a contrivance that you just have to make for it to continue. Like, do you know what I mean?
I know, yeah. Well, I kept thinking like,
because he does. The thing is, right, throughout at different times when you think he's going to get caught or found out, he demonstrates value to them. Do you know what I mean? And they just go, right, yeah, 100%. You could have given me just a slight demonstration of some sort of value, which you've done so well in the rest of the film. Like, do you know what I mean? And that could have made sense, like.
Yeah, or have him talk his way out of it. It's not a huge thing now, but it did kind of bother me.
It's just because, I mean, the way where the film lives for me is just, I fucking love it. But there are, this is why it's not a perfect movie. Do you know what I mean?
Well, they nearly shoot themselves in the foot because I think when he says it, I think it's Dave Chappelle goes, "Yo, Cyrus, we got some mind changing going on here," and you're like, you can tell he's not happy. I'm like, yeah, I'm not a fucking psycho killer, and I'd be kind of pissed because I'm like, you're fucking with we have to put a guard off now. Like that's that's taking a chance with them.
Yeah. And then I loved it when he goes, well, fear of freedom, I guess.
Yeah.
And he goes, it's like,
he did deliver that well, to be fair.
I want some known brother drinks and some dirty naked freaks. And he repeats the thing that Diamond Dog says. I can't do the accent though, because I went Ving Rhames and said I should have went Cameron Poe.
Yeah, no, it did just slightly bother me, to be honest. Like, it wasn't awful now or anything, but I think there's a little bit, it doesn't ever bother me, but there's a little bit of like kind of shoe leather where the guards discover something in Cyrus's cell, and then this is kind of their tip off. But this is what I mean is, where is everyone? Because John Cusack is in a prison, but it's an airfield in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
But like, I'm like, where? And it doesn't matter, and it doesn't bother me.
And when I tell you why, I'm not even going to respond to your thing, because I didn't even fucking notice that.
Yeah.
No, you don't. 50 times
I've just seen it too many times. I have seen this a fuckload.
I've never thought, where did he go? Like, I never thought that ever watching this film.
Yeah.
Honestly, God. But the only thing, one thing I did not like is like he must be very fucking intelligent to like automatically like start bleeding, scanning the fucking yolk with the eyes out and all. Like, that's high level fucking. That's the imitation game right there.
Yeah,
like, do you know what I mean?
It's like,
that's breaking the Nazi code.
Now in the defense, it is meant to. Is it Arizona or so? Where? No, not Arizona. Alabama. So maybe that's whatever. Actually, are they going to a different state or what? There's very possibly prisons in the US that are in the middle of fucking deserts and have airfields.
I'd well imagine that.
For all I know. So I don't, but like I am like, is it a prison or what?
Yeah.
Where the fuck is it? And the other, since we're kind of on the topic, the other contrivances I noticed later, because it only occurred, I don't know why I even started thinking of it, but I'm like, hang on, they're in a plane, yet John Cusack can kind of get there before them in a car. What the fuck?
Yeah.
And a lot of it is because they go from one place to another, and then they're kind of like turning around, and like it in the film there is a logic to it, but they just don't bother making it explicit. But the idea is they're kind of circling around and they're doing things they wouldn't expect and all this. But I am like, how could he drive somewhere that the plane couldn't get when they've been flying for 3 hours and fucking all this? But in the logic of the film, there are explanations for that, but it is still a bit like. That's a bit. And I think he says it's 100 miles away and I need to be there in 50 minutes. And the guy's like, if you have a fast car, you can drive it. I'm like, now that's an average of like 170 kilometers an hour for fucking
50 minutes.
Now, but they show him on desert roads with no other cars.
Flying
and it's Con Air, who gives a fuck? But I am still like, all right, yeah, fair enough. So then the next big, and again, this is what I mean. It's not an action film, but there's a set piece where they land at the Carson City. Like, this is a set piece.
Yeah, and you can see the real, because obviously the guards get off and the other convicts, and they're putting them onto another bus to go to a different prison. But Malkovich gets so cocky, he pulls down his fucking mask and everything, like, and he's just like, And at no stage did I go, well, your man, it'd recognise him. I just thought this is just showing me that this guy just thinks he's king shit and nothing can go wrong now.
Yeah.
Like.
Well, he has a great line where he go. I just love the way he says
spitters
it.
and shitters.
Yeah, he goes, we had to bag him and gag him, spitters and shitters. Great stuff. Yeah, just the way he says it. It sounds
like a guard with the way they talk, that parlance. Like,
yeah, like he's like, I know how these cunts talk, so I'll just play this off. Yeah, this is what I love. This is why I think the film was on people who just say, oh, it's fucking stupid. I'm like, it is not actually an action film. It's a film about how like, not to maybe exactly Scorsese's point, but it is a film about people behaving in a certain way and interacting with each other. Like, it's not a fucking shoot 'em up film, like whatever you might get that feeling from it. So this is great. And now,
see, I think, right, just to stick on the genre question for a second. I think people, when you remember this film, you remember the big fucking plane crash in the Vegas Strip. You remember the shootout. You remember the explosion in the prison. These are the things you remember. You remember Sweet Home Alabama on the flight. You remember the scene of introduction. So if you remember that and nothing else, this is a fucking out and out action film.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably where it lives. Do you know what I mean?
I guess so. Yeah. I mean, obviously, it was advertised that
As
way.
an action film,
I'm not
yeah.
absolutely saying this is my pet theory or anything, but at the same time, it isn't as pure an action film as.
But that's what I'm saying. I think they call it action because what else do you call it? It's not an out and out comedy. It's not a drama.
You wouldn't call it a thriller either. Like
exactly.
An action thriller. Yeah, it's interesting.
Do you know what I mean? So I think they go action. Well, there's a few explosions, so that's what it is.
It's Jerry Bruckheimer.
Exactly. Who gives a shit? Like Don Simpson.
Yeah.
Action.
Yeah. Well, they're a bit of the airstrip, but that's kind of a piece. Yeah. Now we get to the very funny bit with Dave Chappelle where he goes off to move the transponder and he starts flirting with your one, and he's some good lines in there. It's like, you got the prettiest eyes I've seen in 5 to 10. Okay, that's pretty funny. And then we get. Now I was thinking of this the last time I watched it, and I was like, the Steve Buscemi character in its entirety, in theory, could have been cut out of the film, right? Now, in that hypothetical other universe that we live in, imagine you heard, right? Did you know they cut out a serial killer of children character who has tea and like with a little girl, and you think he's murdered her, and then he escapes at the end and he gets away with it? Did you hear they cut that out of Con Air? You would be like, what the fuck were they thinking? That is insanity.
Yeah.
But it's in the film and it just seems normal.
But no.
They get away with it.
Because, like, to bring it back to the Simon Pegg quote, his comedic delivery of... Because, I mean, we spoke before about what's this person playing? What's Kiefer Sutherland playing? Is he a psychopath? Is he a what? Like, I don't think... See, this was pre-American Psycho. So, Malkovich is a sociopath or whatever,
well,
but he's not playing it that way.
He's Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah.
That's at the time what you would have said he was doing.
Yeah. Whereas none of them, I don't think, are playing what we'd consider a psychopath or a sociopath, you know what I mean? Because I don't think the benchmark was laid for what that looks like, really. Do you know what I mean? In terms of mainstream cinema, like, do you mean, you could look at Anthony Perkins and Psycho and stuff, but I mean, is he really, I mean, I know it's the classic film and I love it. You're not going to get a bad word about Anthony Perkins and American Psycho, but is he the quintessential psychopath? No. It's Javier Bardem. It's
true. Yeah,
it's Christian Bale, and all these films came much later. Like,
true. Well, it's such a, when you look at it from like in the film, I'm like, oh, this, what the fuck? Like, this is great. If you look at it in any way analytically,
and even the way he shows up, though.
Yeah, well, the way that's done and the music that plays.
Unbelievable.
Now, John Malkovich is Hannibal Lecter, but they're clearly doing the Hannibal Lecter thing. They have the fucking mask on him that looks amazing. The guys won't even touch him. They've like metal poles for him and all this, and like they never get near him. And you're like, who the fuck is this guy? And it's Steve Buscemi who has that weird, like, he's tiny, but you're like, I don't want to, none of them want to fuck with him. Like, but the concept of it is essentially like trolling. You're just like, you know, it'd be fucking weird if we put a guy in, he's so twisted. He literally says in it, he killed a girl, like a little girl, and he wore her head as a hat. Yeah. The guy is an absolute monster, and he escapes at the end, and he's playing roulette. You're like,
because we learned that he's rehabilitated. Prison works.
I guess so, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because I mean, but that's genuinely what they're getting at. Because when he sits down and has tea with the little girl, you absolutely think that he's after killing her, but he doesn't, because he changes his ways. Now, why? It doesn't tell you why he has to come to Jesus moment. But
no, but it
doesn't need to. Because I'll never forget. I vaguely remember first seeing this, and when I see the little girl wave off to the plane, and I'm like, that is fucking brilliant. I was like,
oh, I remember watching it.
Because you really like him.
It was It was a talking point, like at the time when it came out. I thought he killed her. Jeez, I was like, yeah, you're supposed to.
Yeah.
But if it sounds
welcome to cinema, folks.
If it sounds like I'm knocking it, I genuinely admire the perversity of that choice. That is a perverse idea. It's genuinely like out there. Like it is, I think I maybe not using this right, but like I've heard it used similarly, transgressive. Like it is like, what the fuck were they thinking? It's the kind of thing I'm sure some lunatic on the internet is like, oh, Epstein fucking boo. Yeah. By the way, if you want to be really depressed, I was looking at a Michael Jackson video the other day, and all the comments are like, he tried to warn us about Epstein, the Epstein files. I'm like,
he was a bodyguard for the children. Yeah,
I'm like, what are you fucking?
He used to go and
what do you mean he tried to warn you about? Like what?
Detailed dossiers. He went to the island and made detailed dossiers, which don't seem to be anywhere.
Well, maybe they'll be released.
Schizophrenics.
I just know he admitted to sleeping in beds with children. Whether he did anything else or not, I'm just saying maybe he wasn't exposing the Epstein ring, which I don't know was even supposed to have been in operation when he was kind of alive and successful, Jackson. But anyway, I found it very depressing. But anyway, it is a genuinely perverse, weird choice that I am all for and is amazing.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. Because he brings because the film is already hilarious, but he brings a real classic kind of comedy delivery and cadence to it. And I think that's obviously a choice, like, do you know what I mean?
The bit where he just is sitting beside them on the plane and they're like
yeah, and he's just looking at them, like, do you know what I mean?
It's like, oh Jesus.
It's very funny, like, and but I never thought of it like that. If you heard they cut that out, you wouldn't. You'd go, what?
It would sound psychotic.
It'd be like,
what? Were they
who came up with that? Like?
Yeah, it is. Why they?
It's a great point. It's a great
why
point.
Is he in there though? And I don't mean not to knock it. It does add something to the film, and it's of a piece of it. But like story wise, he does not interact.
Yeah, you think that maybe it doesn't know a draft that wouldn't be there. Like, do you know what I mean?
You would say, but they say I would bet they put it in. They're like, you don't be really fucking nuts. Fucking did this. They're like, oh yeah, he's missed this kid, and you're not sure if he killed you. Like, what?
Do you think that's why? Because I mean, obviously, really, like, I mean. No heavy hitters get on the, other than the guy who's going to fly the plane. Yeah. But there's no heavy hitters. We've just seen this big scene where 5 of them get on and they're fucking...
Actually, I wanted to say there's a neo-Nazi guy who gets on the guy. He goes, we got the plane. That guy's from Dublin.
What?
Yeah.
No way.
He's from Dublin. I've seen him in some other stuff, yeah. Because I thought it, because I just saw his picture on IMDb and I was like, is that the guy from the bar at the start? And it's not. And I was like, blah, 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 is from Dublin, Ireland. And I was like, get the fuck out of here. And yeah, he's the guy, like, we got the plane, y'all. And he's like, white power and all this. Yeah, shut the fuck up. He calls him like some... No, who says it? Yeah.
Black or something.
He does, because that's before Chappelle gets off. Yeah. So Cusack is is figuring out like what's going on. John Malkovich somehow as the bomb from Die Hard with a Vengeance in his cell, kills everyone.
Yeah, like this was where, now to be fair, like I was watching it, and in the logic of the film as I was watching it, I was like, he literally just said, don't touch anything. And the fucking box says, do not open.
The second, yeah.
But then I thought, I gave it a second to think about it. I go, that would be 100% me. What do you mean, don't touch something?
Yeah, to be fair, I wouldn't even be dead in 2 seconds. And I think we did... No, sorry, this is coming up. So he figures it out, and they kill a bunch of people, which is again not really an action scene, but there is action in it.
There's an explosion,
and then they take off, and out they get. Now, this is where we get to the bit where I remember one of the few times after I watched it during its initial run, and then I watched it later, and I was like, no, I actually do really like this. Colm Meaney shows up, and he's pissed. And he goes, well, you better figure it out, because this is a situation that needs to get unfucked right now. And I'm like, absolute cinema.
Yeah.
That is this film in a nutshell.
Colm Meaney, like, I wonder if he's well known, like, in
I
the
think
States,
they know the face.
Like,
yeah, he's one of those guys that say in the States.
Yeah.
In this film, there's something about him that everyone I think is great. Fucking Cage is great. John Cusack's great. Malkovich. There's something about Meaney that I'm like, he's just perfect. He's exactly right.
Because, like you said at the start, like, he knows exactly what he's in. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even though he gives a great performance as that character, Colm Meaney is in there doing it. If that makes sense, like,
there's
and that probably
kind
wouldn't be noticeable for people.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be noticeable for people outside of Ireland, I wouldn't say. But you can tell Colm Meaney from Finglas is in there, and he's going, "Oh, I know how to do this."
Well, it is some kind of a character on like Americanisms because he's not actually American. Like, there's some extra nudge to the performance that to me just really makes it sing, whereas all the rest of them are great. But he does seem to be like legit enjoying himself as well. Like, whereas as you say, like, a lot of the other guys are just kind of playing it sincerely, however seriously they took the work or whatever. But Oh, when he said that, I just remember me and my brother laughing like fucking Aegis, like, because it was so brilliant. And he's like, unfucked right now. And after that, so they're in the plane, and he's super pissed.
Oh, we missed the next big plot point. Sandino gets on the plane.
Yes, the big drug baron.
Yeah. So this is the guy who's organised. This is the reason this is happening. Is Sandino.
Yeah. So he's the drug baron, you know, the Latin American drug dealer character. There was a great bit earlier on, actually.
I thought he was French.
There was a great bit earlier on during the big intro scene where John Cusack goes like, he's known to be somewhat garrulous in the presence of other thieves. He's like, who is this guy? And he goes like, what does that mean? He goes like, loquacious, verbose, chatty if you prefer. And you're like, he is an arsehole. Like, he's a bit of an arsehole. He's like, oh, you don't like that word? Well, I'm going to use other words. And he's like, look at dictionary. But he's like, I think thesaurus. But And I'm like, nice.
If he said that to me, I'd hit him straight away.
Yeah, that's what I was like.
That line, that thesaurus one just would have killed me.
Well, that's what I like about it. I'm like, he's actually an arsehole. Like, that's kind of an arsehole thing to say. He could have just gone, oh, yeah, sorry, man. But he doesn't. He kind of pushes back. The drug dealer guy gets on. And, this is all... They're all maybe a little too trusting of him, but they're going to go to this other place. And,
Learn an airfield.
Lerner Airfield. This is where he asks him what he's doing. And there's that great the back and forth between Malkovich and Cusack and Meany on the thing.
Nothing makes me sadder than the agent lost his bladder on the airplane.
How did they come up with that? That is fucking brilliant.
It's fantastic. Like, do you know what I mean?
Well, that whole bit of dialogue. This is the scene where your one is literally set dressing, because the way the shot is framed, she's on the left, just there in the frame. The radio is on the right, and Meany and Cusack are in the middle. And she's just set dressing, and she's standing in the background looking kind of awkward. She's just literally there to fill out the frame. It is a nice frame though, very well shot this one.
Yeah.
But I love how Meany is like super pissed off, and he's like, "What a fucking K!" It's like, I don't like him.
Yeah.
Don't put him.
Don't let him talk again. And I thought that was very good. But see, that's why I'll bring back to the point of what's he playing, because that seems very narcissistic to me. How he responds to Meany.
Oh, where he's like, I don't like him.
I do not like him.
Yeah,
He's hurting my ego. Get him off. I want to talk to someone that I can play with, not that's going to start shouting at me.
True, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And I just took it as like, I don't need this shit, man, because he knows like you'll never catch me. But I love the way he goes, I'm going to Disney. It's like, you're lying, Cyrus. So are you, Dave? And it's nice. Fucking great. You know, it's and the way, like, I love the way just the physical action of it when Cusack just rips off the headset and fucks it down. He's like, this is a waste of my time. That's good stuff.
No, it's brilliant. Like, I mean, and I think that's pretty much it. Except now Cameron Poe is trying to get in the action here.
It is,
but he has to do it here because he has to know who Vince is. Do you know who John Cusack's character is? So I mean, it is like, it might be A-B. Do you know what I mean? But it's just a nice way to make it happen, where he knows all this information and he gets it.
I suppose. No, sorry. We should mention he doesn't do nothing because he plants the recording thing on the guard, so he isn't completely. They kind of have to give him stuff to do here, but it does. There's another good scene actually later on where John Cusack is kind of putting the dots together. This is why you actually need a really good actor, because he is just giving information, but the way he delivered it is like, this happened, then this happened. The guard says someone called Cameron Poe, but we put this together. We've got an ally on that. And you're like, oh, he just delivers it so well. Stuff that is just pure exposition. There's no logic or meaning behind it.
It's not plot driven.
And it's well written as well, because Meany is just sitting there like, what the fuck are you even babbling about? Like, Meany is just like, I'm not listening to a bar of this fucking song. Would you fuck off? And it's just good cross peopleship, because it's 2026. Then we get to, John Cusack meets, we're skipping over the bit where they realize Pinball is missing.
Yeah.
And is it before or after? I think some.
It's because it's great because he's running alongside the plane and it's the guy set on fire.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah. And
sorry, man.
I'm sorry. There's a great bit though, and I love the way Malkovich delivers it. Someone just goes, Pinball didn't make it. And he goes, oh, it's too bad. I like Pinball. And he says it like he doesn't really not mean it, but he's also like,
I don't give a
what
shit.
Are you going to do? What do I care? What do I care? Like, but it is like, okay.
I did find it weird though, because I don't want to fucking. It's only at the popping into my head, so I won't spend too much time on it. But he's running alongside the plane and somehow gets caught in the wheel. Like,
yeah, he must be very fast, and he must be very fast.
It's not even that he's fast. It's like how does the wheel reach out and grab him and pull him under?
Well,
like?
yeah, it's funny you mention actually because he gets caught in the landing gear or whatever the fuck they say. But if you look at it, he's running alongside, and then he kind of does it like he slipped, and I was like, "What? He slipped into the fucking thing? Like, that doesn't make any sense."
Because I mean, surely he slipped and then the plane just took off. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. But like, you need him in there because that is a great bit where
it's brilliant. But he writes down that him and Diamond Dog go down into the belly of the plane.
And actually, do you know what? I like this as well. And I read it on the thing. Like, Ving Rhames insisted that there's a scene where he explains like why a black militant is taking orders from this guy. And
yes, boss. Until we get to where we're going.
What's great about it is like if you look at it with that knowledge, you're like, yeah, why is this happening? But Poe is like, I'll see if I needle these guys and just kind of see what happens. Because he's like, oh, why are you taking orders from a white boy on a power trip? And like you can kind of see like, well, I got to try something. I got to do something. So there is like a logic to it. It's not just in there. And then it also motivates Ving Rhames to be like, here, you come and help me out because I know you. Like I can push you around.
That makes perfect sense. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
it's good. It's it's solid script writing. Like say what you fucking will. Someone on YouTube will say we're over estimating something that's not really worthy of it. But this is a solid. It's a film that's remembered. 29 years later. So it did something fucking right. Then we get one of the truly great jokes in the film where he pushes Dave Chappelle out of the plane and he lands.
And it's such a great thing because it cuts and we forget the plane for a minute. And, he goes, and it's a great line, and I can't think of this guy's name. He was in Stargate SG-1.
Don Davis. He was in Twin Peaks as well. For a tiny little part. That was beneath him. Like this is a cameo. It's not just
but this is like... I was so well delivered as well, like just so well played, like because he's sitting in the car and he goes, every damn time I get the car washed, I'm pitching shits on it, and then bang,
and he hits it with such force. Did you?
But then what I love is that it doesn't just hit the car; it causes an absolute boil up. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, that's what excess.
Yeah, brilliant.
Do you think did they make a dummy of Dave Chappelle? Because there's something like that. He legitimately looks dead. Like, and he says grimace on his face, and I was like, "There's something about him uncanny." Like, because even on the plane, and
I thought because I mean, obviously the dummy hits the car or whatever it is that hits the car. But the shot where we see it through the windscreen, then I thought that was just like dust.
No, even in the plane, he has a kind of uncanny, like actually dead look about him. He doesn't look like a guy just pretending to be dead. Maybe it's just a makeup thing, but he has like a grimace on him, and I'm like, Yachi. It looks like he's genuinely not alive. It doesn't just look like he's.
That's why I come back to his acting chops, like Dave Chappelle.
Nothing he can't do. Exactly. Nothing he can't do. That is genuine.
Actually, I have to bring this up because it's just that because this is the end of pinball, the end of Dave Chappelle for this section of the podcast. But he had an amazing line. He goes, "Listen, so one day they're going to get me." At the end of his last special, right? He goes,
right.
One day they're going to get me, and he does this big long 10-minute thing. And he goes, "We have to come up with something that if I say this." You know that they got me, and that's it. So, and you know never to listen to a fucking damn thing I ever say again. And he goes, "What can we do?" And this is going on for 10 minutes, like, and he goes, "Oh, I know. I stand with Israel. Goodbye." And just walks off. Fucking deadly.
When was that?
It was his most recent special on Netflix.
Okay, I didn't get around to that one yet. I like all of his other ones.
Fucking Dave Chappelle is for me a genius.
The stuff I've seen, he's brilliant.
Do
you know what though? I liked all of his recent stuff on Netflix, although I might have missed one before the one you were saying. I can't remember. I went back then and watched one from around this time or like shortly after that. A friend of mine said, "Oh, I watched that like every day I was in college," and I was like, "Oh, this isn't as good." And I think it's just his later stuff kind of ruined him for me, or something.
Yeah, because his later stuff now is more. He's gone the way of Carl. Do you know what I mean? Of being more of a storyteller and.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? I think he was always a storyteller. Like, I hope I'm not speaking out of skill for any Dave Chappelle stands out there. But like now, it's a lot more topical. It's a lot more political. It's a lot more subversive.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? That's
I have to be honest, like, I'm not actually a huge fan of stand-up. So I think his recent stuff that I saw at like the right time, and it was just like he's obviously at the top of the game. And maybe it's just like, that's a bit too much of like a normal kind of a stand-up. I don't know. As I say, I'm not an aficionado or anything. Yeah, he's very, very good in this.
And he's like, I mean, we talk about non-submersible units. He's up there, like, do you know what I mean?
He is, yeah.
He's such a memorable character.
Yeah,
like.
he's
And I mean, you could argue that it's just Dave Chappelle playing Dave Chappelle because he does have a similar character in a couple of things. But I just think how it works in the greater context of this film is just fucking perfect.
Well, that bit leads to like one of the great lines in the film as well. And again, just speaking to the like getting a good actor in there who delivers it well, because the police chief calls up John Cusack and he's like, a body from this guy's like, yeah, what's this got to do with me? He's like, it's got your name written all over it.
Yeah.
And you're like, it would have been so easy to get a guy who couldn't deliver that line, who just doesn't do it, and the guy delivers it fucking perfect, and you're in fucking fit to laugh.
Like you can tell that guy sat up all night the night before with his wife going like, let's do this.
How should I
now.
say this? Well, paid off.
Yeah, brilliant.
Hard work paid off.
Never seen again.
And yeah, what's great about it then is, again, this is what I mean. Like the film is intelligently written. You can say whether it's like clever, which you can kind of say means another thing, but he has to call up then Colin Meaney, who is so like, I'm not listening to this.
They're taking a fucking attack chopper.
Yeah, and he goes, a body fell from the sky, which if you put two and two together, there's a plane, you know, but it sounds ludicrous, and he's just like, get this fucking idiot off the thing. Yeah. And
because obviously the transponder is in Uncle Bob's scenic tours.
That is pretty funny. That's
very good.
Yeah.
But even they give Uncle Bob a little something to do as well, like because when they're initially taking off, and it's like your man sitting next to him is rattling because it's a dust storm, and he goes, "Is it safe?" And he goes, "Oh yeah, we've been out of this in a couple of minutes. I've done this 1,000 times."
Yeah,
like,
he has a little character.
Yeah, and it's great, like because he's just Uncle Bob.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? And it's just.
It did make me go, Jason, I wouldn't mind seeing the El Grand Canyon
someday.
That'd be nice. So from there we go. So then, it's kind of a straight run then to the Lerner airfield, I want to say.
Yeah.
Which is there's an action set piece coming up there. And I guess a little more action heavy when they show up there. Yeah. John Cusack tearing through and the car. I was like, that's good stuff. Yeah.
And then he gets there and he's there with quite some time before
quite a bit. Now, in fairness, they were going slow. I did think actually it was a bit, again, because I've seen it. If it sounds like I was lukewarm in this, I've seen it like a million times. There's a bit where they go, "Oh, we're going slow. We might be a bit delayed," and the guy's like, "No, Cyrus, that's unacceptable." And then they show up and like, "Where's the airplane?" "Oh, chill out, man." Yeah. And I'm like, they not know patience. They don't know something is up. Like, yeah. But again, who gives a fuck?
Yeah,
really.
It's Con Air, like,
yeah, it is indeed. So they show up in John Cusack.
What a fucking name for a film. We haven't even spoke about that, by the way.
It is, and welcome to Con Air.
Yeah, man, like,
brilliant.
Like, unbelievable. Like, whoever came up with that idea, like.
Yeah, I could kind of imagine like being sent this script and going like, interesting. But like, it seems kind of like a stupid
and the
name.
shot, just to go back to the start, but the camera dollying in on Malkovich and in the welcome to Con Air, like it's just perfect. And the way he's lit, it's like a grate above his head or something. And it's like,
I think, did we skip over? I think we did the bit where Cage has to kill Billy Bedlam.
I don't know, have we?
Is that before or after
I think
the airfield?
Oh no, it's Jordan. It's just before he lands at the airfield.
It's before the airfield, That's Nick Chinlin, and he actually does talk like that as far as I can tell. I love this scene with him and Cage. He's like, "I heard you say you had 15 years left. That'd put you on D block. I was on..." And you know, he has this great bit. He looks down and he goes, "I was on D block." He looks up, "I don't know you." And you're like, "Ooh." And then Cage, the character anyway, handles it perfectly. He's like, "What do you think that means?" "Nothing." But what's great about it is at the end, he goes, "I didn't want to know anyone, including you. What do you think about that?" And it's like, it's just perfectly written. Like, this is a guy who knows how this guy operates. And
this could end in a fight.
Yeah, this is going to escalate. I'm not just making a clever joke here. I'm provoking you, motherfucker. What are you going to do about it? And then he's like, we'll see. And then, I love that sound he makes. He's like, agreement. And again, he actually he doesn't show up in as many movies as he used to, that guy. He's very good. Then we would have gotten fucking killed for this. The put the bunny back in the box scene happens.
Put the bunny back in the box.
And I love he's like, "I knew you as a punk. You've been playing us all along. You're a free man." Why he knew to look in that box, but who cares? You'll hear me say this a lot.
Maybe he was looking in a few boxes.
He must have been,
came across
well, Cage was like, he's looking for something on me. And to be fair, the guy played it in such a way that he's like, there's something about you, Nick Cage, that I don't like, and I'm going to do something about it. This is, again, kind of plausible. Like,
100%.
And again, that's... Again,
and even this little fight though in the belly of the plane where he can't stand up straight around, like, it was pretty cool. Like.
It's pretty good, yeah. I did notice as well, again, they probably shot a more violent version of this because you only see it like for a split second, the thing going through him. Like it's over and done very quickly. And
what was this? Is it age rating 15? Is it?
It was. I looked it up actually in the cinema here. I don't know about here actually because you only really hear. But in the cinema in the UK, it was 15s, and then they put it up to 18s on video because they're like, oh, we were too light on it. So like, really? I don't think so, but.
Times are different in the 90s. Like.
Yeah, I'd imagine they looked at it again. They're like, "What's with this fucking serial killer? What the fuck?" So they land at the airfield, and then there is a double cross being set up where the drug dealer guy, he just. It seems pretty obvious the plane is too small to kind of carry everyone, so he's just going to leave them all to rot. And Cage,
what was the plan here for him to just sneak off?
I think so, yeah. That seems to be it.
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
Which, fair enough.
I mean, yeah. Look, I mean,
Cage,
at the end of the day, Cage is doing Pete Cage floating around trying to find a syringe for his mate. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yes, yeah. He's really in a bad way now, Michael T. At this stage.
Because they can't move him. He tries to take him off the plane, and it's like,
and he might go into shock. I think. The guards.
And this is also where Johnny 23 has his way with.
That's at the end of it, yeah. But yeah, he's
lovely bloke.
Yeah, Cage has to talk Ving Rhames out of killing the guards, yeah. And he has that great line. It's like, "This is your barbecue, Cyrus, and it tastes good."
But do you know what? That is a perfect line. But my issue then is, but if it was my barbecue, it's like, okay, you had it at the start. Like, come on, enough with the fucking barbecue.
But I do like it is. I was watching back because it was a big thing that was in the 90s, like the guy having to talk the bad guy out of killing the hostages would still look like a bad guy. This is one of the better done ones. It is like fairly.
Because it makes perfect sense. Like, how do you know this Sandino guy isn't going to fucking?
Yeah, that was the detail of it. It's like, what are we really doing here, as opposed to just I shouldn't do that or.
But the thing is, I really like because it tests because you can tell Malkovich is a real genius, for the want of a better word, because he's actually considering it. It's not just a. Like Diamond Dog roles reverse, it'd be just like, oh yeah, all right.
Yeah.
But he's actually considering it, and he lets him keep talking, and he's like, okay, yeah, drop the gun.
Yeah.
It's really, it's very for character development in a film such as this. It's just done so well. Like,
no, the film knows what it is, and it pulls it off very well.
And then we meet the guy that's hiding under the truck. We fucking missed the fella as the plane is landing.
Yes.
This guy, and there's another plane coming into land, or maybe he's just landed, and the thing comes over, and he goes running towards the plane to try and
they're beating the shit out of the guards.
Yeah, and he just takes off running, which we'll come back to later, guys.
Yeah, that was a nice touch.
Yeah.
I think actually plot wise, they needed because what that sets up plot wise is that the plane kind of crashes. And that it isn't just immediately available to go, like, so they can't just leave the second they see the cops coming. So again, like, nice A to B kind of plot, and it's funny and it's memorable.
And here we go again, because I mean, we'll get to it when it comes. We'll stick pin in that for a second, because obviously we meet the guy, the old fella under the truck, which is almost seems like a stock line, but he delivers it so well, and he's like, "Oh damn, the drugs will kill you."
That'll be the end of you, son. Yeah.
And then, but the funny one is he goes, "Oh, just hang cat."
Yes.
He goes, "It's easy for you to say. You ain't got to take a piss."
Yeah, it was a good
one.
Like
that's what I love when a film. That's tiny characters, and they take such care, and because it's so easy. You've seen it in a million films where it's just a poorly delivered line by a glorified extra. But these guys in this. And in other films, obviously, but it's specifically in this, it's just, they're actors. They're not glorified extras, do you know what I mean?
No,
and
it's great stuff, yeah. Very well thought out. So this is where, as well, because Cage is off, looking for the incident, he's pretending to do something else, but he bumps into the drug dealer's friends in the... And this is one now... Again, this one-liner seemed a little contrived to me, where he's like, you fire that gun, there'll be 20 pissed off cons, and the guy really goes like, well, hooray for the sounds of fucking silence. I was like, that's a little contrived. But then Cusack shows up, blah, 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 and then there is a great one-liner from, it's not even a one-liner, it's just a little comment, because John Cusack, I forget what he says, he goes, that was a joke, I'm glad you told me. Because it's like, your joke was so bad, it's like, in one split second, I'm like, That's good. And he has the other great line.
about trust.
Yeah, go on. Yeah.
What was it? Jesus Christ, I don't know.
There's two men.
There's two men that I trust, and one of them's not you.
Yeah, one of them's me, the other's not you. It's like, nice.
Fuck, I butchered that.
That's what I mean. Like the film, it'll stumble and then it'll pull it back with like something that's legitimately.
Just like, yeah, dead right. Because there's certain times where maybe you should have just ended that shot just a smidge sooner. Like, do you know what I mean? But, do you know what I mean? And
there's some good. Again, there's heart as the old time Hollywood. There's heart in the scene because he's talking to him about his. You saw my daughter. It's like I did. It's like you tell her I tried to, whatever the fuck he says. But it's like he plays it sincerely.
And it's just nice because he kind of puts why are you doing this, and he goes, well, I have family, like I have people on board, like, do you know what I mean? Like I have to look after them.
No, he couldn't live with him, and like it's plausible. Like Cage pulls that off. Like we haven't talked about him as much as maybe we should have. He fucking got in incredible shape. He poured his heart into it. He plays it very sincerely with an exaggerated edge, but
see, the thing is, that's what I want, because I mean, obviously we're debating whether it's an action film or not, but like, is Cameron Poe an action hero, or is he like a parody of one? Do you know what I mean? Without it being a parody, do you get me? Is it kind of laughing at some of these guys, like, and how seriously? Because even though Cage as a performance isn't taking it too seriously, but Cameron Poe as a character is very fucking serious, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is he overshored of himself like other action heroes, like, do you know what I mean? Or is it just like
it's an he's playing it in an exaggerated way.
Yeah.
It is. There's definitely like, you know, my in my original film course, my one of the tutors would have said it's postmodern, because he does say I'm going to save the day, which is like, you know, what a hero says.
Yeah.
Well, he says I'm going to save the fucking day, which is just kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's right in the line, I would say. I would say it's there, but and again, like I have no hesitation. So maybe I'm full of shit. I've no hesitation calling him an action hero. Yet is it actually really an action film?
Yeah.
But he does, like in these bits now, because he can beat the shit out of guys very well. Yeah. So like that's kind of...
And here's where it starts to really kind of ratchet up. Like, I mean...
Yeah, now I will say, unfortunately, so they
like,
go on.
The shot of Danny Trejo on top of the
watchtower.
Yeah. What an epic... Because the fucking thing, that was a helicopter, like, do you know what I mean?
Helicopter, like probably 1,000mm lens.
It's fantastic. And it's just like, just to see
we
the
got
cops.
company.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would that have made him more visible? Or did they just want to get him with the shirt off? Now, I will say one of the reasons I think the first time I saw this, I was a little disappointed is, I have to say, I don't think the film's big action scene, apart from the ending, I don't actually think it's that good. It is just a bunch of shots of people firing machine guns and then people falling over. And
Yeah. No, I understand what you mean.
It's a little bit weak.
I like the run up to it where they're planning it out.
Yes.
And they has the diagram or whatever you call it, the
great.
model on the ground. Yeah. And the guy, the big thick fucking, goes, what's that? And he goes, that's a rock or whatever. It's fucking brilliant, like.
No, and that's no notes. I just think maybe that scene got away from Simon West. He never directed a scene. It is just like people firing guns and then something explodes, or people. And at the end of it, you're like, are any of those guys left alive? Apparently, there's like 15 of them left alive, and you're like, how many of them were there? It's just a little.
And then obviously, this is where we see Steve Buscemi, because we also.
Oh, excuse me, yeah.
So the guy takes off running, and from when the plane lands, and Malkovich goes, I hope he likes desert or whatever.
Yeah.
As in, there's nothing here. And then
but there is.
Steve Buscemi just mosey across the road to a trailer park.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. We did miss some good bits with him earlier.
He's got the whole world.
Yeah, that's great.
In his hands.
We did miss some good bits with him earlier on the plane. Like, this is what I mean. He's Hannibal Lecter, because he kind of psychologically dissects the Billy Bedlam character. He's like, oh, take your pick. Like, you know, he's this or he's that. And then he's also like, he knows, well, Nick Cage killed him. And he's like, what if I told you this was insane? And he's like, Nicolas Cage is just like, stop talking to me.
Yeah.
I don't want to. This is what I mean when I say this is genuinely perverse. And I think that's kind of great.
Yeah.
What the fuck were they thinking?
Yeah, he goes, 2 went down, 1 came up.
Oh,
it's very like kind of philosophical. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
again, it's he's the guy you see. Well, he just kind of seems like he's existentially just beyond all the rest of us.
Yeah. He's transcended.
The scene with the little girl is genuinely weird and
It is
perverse.
very
and
weird. But the whole time you're sitting there
play,
going,
like-
oh shit.
I know, yeah. Where are these fucking
And the way
going?
the camera and everything, like the choice of shot,
Yeah.
like it's just he's basically like looking at her like, oh,
Yeah, and the
you're
way
filled.
like he reacts, like she goes like, "Are you sick?" And he goes, "Yeah, I am sick." And she goes, and he goes, "There's no medicine for what's wrong with me." And I go, there is something she said. I think it's actually when she says, "Are you sick?" And he kind of freezes for a second. Like, but that's what I mean. Like, what were they thinking?
Yeah.
This is fucking so weird. But again, it's like, well, fuck it. It's something. I'm not bored. I'm I'm engaged and I'm entertained.
And it's just like, and when he leaves with the thing, with
Yeah.
the doll, and you're like, oh no.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Oh no.
What it actually it is rare it happens because I remember in Game of Thrones and sometimes Tarantino does it where there's a moment where you're like, what is this fucking lunatic gonna do next? And I got that feeling in a Jerry Bruckheimer film. I was like, where are these fucking weirdos going with this? Jesus Christ.
Like
so fair play, yeah. So yeah, this again, like I'm not a huge fan of the action scene, but it gets over with. I did think it was slightly weak how they killed the drug lord guy. I think that actually comes a bit before it.
Yeah, but
that line's a little contrived. Like, Sai Onara. Oh.
But I do like it looks really cool.
Oh no,
It
it's
looks
there.
fantastic,
Yeah,
like,
look,
you know what I mean?
I just thought that sign off line. I was like, what is supposed to have happened there? I thought, do you know what would be funny is if they play it like Malkovich is. Yeah. Or I was like, is he actually saying Cyrus and Malkovich is cutting him off? In which case there might be a funny, I was going to do a line there, but you finished my name. Oh, okay. And yeah, that's a bit weak, that one. I was like, okay. But it is like visually, it's
it looks
fine.
like,
It's pretty cool. Yeah. Like
and then it's like kind of a quick fucking turn. Like it's almost like because the plane is worse for wear after the shootout. Like
yeah.
And I love this is one of the favorite parts of the film when they're singing Sweet Home Alabama on the.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not going to attempt the Steve Buscemi monologue, but it is fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
The fine irony.
A bunch of idiots on a plane. Yeah, was it dancing
Singing the song
that made famous by a band that died in a plane crash or something like this? Yeah.
And then the thing that I love is that Nick Cage and Michael T. Williamson is just staring down back at him like why the fuck
what can you say to a man like that? Yeah. So we missed a bit where they fucked up Colomini's car. He's like, you little shit. So they're tracking them in these attack helicopters, and like this is again well done. It's maybe something that I'm like, did they need that? But it's well done. Colomini has to be talked out of blowing the shit out of it. Yeah. Actually, this is another bit that always kind of annoyed me was they show up and the guy who's like John Cusack's boss goes, shoot out the tires, and Colomini's like, fuck that, I'm going for the pilot. And I'm like, just have a shot of him raising his gun up and shooting at the pilot. I don't need the line where he fucking don't treat me like a complete fucking fool. Like, and like I know he's on the edge. It's kind of obvious.
We know, we know he's past.
He's past caring. So
do you think the film is trying to say something because he turns criminal? Colomini's character turns criminal in a revenge plot for his fucking buddy who.
Do you know what? Actually, funny enough, I read again on the IMDb that there was on a TV version, there's a bit cut out where he goes into the background he had with the guy who was killed, giving him more motivation for the way he behaves. So I don't know. It's an interesting, and again, he's the highfalutin guy, like, don't you compare me to these animals.
Because, not to over-contextualize the whole thing, but, there's a lot of questions about masculinity and all. Well, it's masculinity turned up to cartoonish levels, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's obviously redemption and different things like that and themes going on in it, but it's only at the cross my mind there that, because he's really anti-criminal. They forgot about law, they forgot about society. Yeah. Well, so did you as you're fucking gunning this plane down, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, interesting. I suppose, possibly. The problem with it is...
Something tells me that no.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, the only way that John Cusack is a little but John Cusack isn't liberal in the sense of how dare we kill anyone on that plane. They're human. He is just there's a good guy on that plane. He isn't doing it from he's only a liberal. He wears sandals and he makes the odd comment, but he's going out kicking everyone's ass later on in the film anyway, which is good. He's good at that. He's great, John Cusack. I fucking think he's great. Especially around this time, he was just kind of the good everyman kind of a thing. So then they have to crash on this.
The Las Vegas Strip.
I actually was thinking about this because I was like, the whole bit when they get off the plane at the end is just like, come on, just get this out of the way. As much as there's some stuff in there, like, but I was like, how could they actually make this work? And I'm like, couldn't they have worked it in that he's having a fist fight with Cyrus as the plane's crashing, and then at the end, as the plane crashes, he punches him and that kills him or something? And that would have been a way better ending and saved them a ton of money. Like,
because what happens with this ending, right? So obviously they crash land, and what happens is they assume everybody's dead. They assume, we've missed the fucking part where Cage gets shot in the arm and just keeps going.
That's cool. Yeah. That is really
perfection.
Cool, yeah.
Absolute cinema. Because like just even the look in his eyes as the squib goes off, and it's just like it's perfect. Like, because I mean, you'd nearly that took work, like, because you'd almost flinch with a squib going off on your fucking arm, like. Do you know what I mean?
It's great stuff, and like he's just
and it just makes it because it's like nothing is stopping me from seeing my daughter.
Yeah, and
like.
you see the guy's reaction. He's like, "Oh, what the fuck!" I think that's actually the Irish guy. I could be wrong. Yeah. Yes.
No, what a part. Like.
Thank you for that was worth talking about. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Like,
so they land in Las Vegas. It's a good scene.
Like, and it's like I think it's a bit long, probably, the whole where they actually hit the deck and they're sliding along. Like,
do you know what? Actually, I think it's what occurred to me because there is a bit where they're on the plane where the propeller goes through it. Yeah, and I was like, here's your chance. He's having a fist fight with him. He sees the propeller.
I hate that.
I think
the way they just step apart, like.
I think they should have done that. He sees that happening and then he punches Cyrus into it and he kills him, and then that's the end of the film. Like, that's the climax. I just think that would have been, because everyone, including the film, once they're off, they just want that out of the way. The music is like, come on, hurry up. Editing is like, come on, hurry up. It's like,
because like what happens is obviously they assume Cyrus is dead. He's not.
Yeah.
And it turns into a fucking chase.
Where they'd steal motorbikes and it's way too easy, and
But it turns into this big fucking chase, and I don't need it. And here's where it really fucking annoys me in terms of logic, right? So he goes flying through the bridge, the sky bridge, on the ladder, and ends up in a fucking building site where the bleeding big compressor lands on his head. Where is that building site, and where is it? Because it disappears.
It's all a little much, isn't it?
No, but it appears and disappears.
And
the spontaneously combustion fucking...
No, it is like even in the DNA of the film, you can tell like, we just come on, like no one likes. I'd imagine it was a huge set piece and they chopped it down. Like, it's still pretty big, but it, like as I say, everything is just like, come on, let's wrap this up. And I can't even remember how Ving Rhames gets killed.
I think he just gets killed.
No, Nicolas Cage just lets the motorbike go in and he's like, instead of like running away, and they're like, why would you assume it would explode? Because like literally it would not have killed him if it had exploded.
He's a big guy, Ving Rhames.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Yeah, and then the film does redeem itself, I have to say, because it is a legit good scene where he meets his wife and the fucking Trisha Yearwood song kicks in. It's like, and Cage, he's really good, like because the way he plays it.
But we talk about child actors and how crap they can be. Yeah. What a performance from this little girl.
She's great.
Because that is exactly how you'd expect a child to act to someone that she's never seen. Look at the state of this man. Like, what are you talking about?
And he's
this
like rubbing off the bunny. I got you. It's a little dirty. And like, it sounds like we're taking the piss, but when you see it, you are kind of like,
it's sweet.
Come on. But at the same time, you're like,
just take the bunny, you little cretin.
And there is something like, and again, I kept thinking of it, and I don't know that it's actually a great comparison, but I was watching Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves like last year, and I never really loved the film, so I was watching it again. I hadn't seen it in years, and I was like, all right. And then halfway through it, he has this meeting with Maid Marian, and the fucking Bryan Adams song is like, do. And I remember going like, oh my, it's starting to work for me. This is working for me, because it's so like, of movies today, I would say, are afraid of stuff like that, because they're afraid of looking silly. And it's not silly. It's actually...
It works,
it's the kind of thing people might take the piss out of. But it works. Like, it's, how do I... And it's like, And his kid is like kind of scared of him. He's like, go on, daddy, give your daddy a hug. And he's like, no, it's okay. And you're like, he's such a decent guy.
It's
and you're like,
so well played.
It's great, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's so, like... And then... Like, it's just, I don't know, I think we've probably said it all we can say about it, but it's just a sweet ending to a fucking chaotic film. Like, it's just nice. Yeah. And because it's one of them films, sometimes, like, you'll watch a film and you don't need to see the big emotional payoff.
Yes, yeah.
Whereas this absolutely lives and dies on the emotional payoff.
That's what was getting him through, yeah. I want to say, I don't know that he added the daughter thing, but Cage, I remember like he had something like he wanted more motivation or something. This is like quite something, you know, you criticize actors for being egotistical, but like it makes the film work. Like if he's just a random guy on the plane, you might be like, oh, it's kind of a down and dirty film about a criminal. With this, you're like, yeah, get him home to his fucking young one. Fucking,
The big heroic Marine.
Exactly.
Hashtag advert for the US military.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, well, I could maybe do without that kind of crack now, but no, they don't harp on that much.
No, they don't.
Yeah,
it's heavily at the start, but like,
kind
of clears it all up.
He's not a military man, Jerry Bruckheimer. He's never, not that I recall from any of his other movies. No, and there is like the final. Even Colomini gets his redemption because he is kind of happy you let him go, and he's like, "I'm sorry about your car," and he's like, "I was bored of that car anyway." He's fucking brilliant in this car.
Perfectly.
He is just absolutely.
Because I like it when it closes off the fucking side quests as well, like of the film. Like obviously there's friction between John Cusack and me throughout, and it just you're not so bad.
Yeah,
you know
they do come to some kind of.
And it works, but it
again, all worked out in the end. Yeah,
it's not too because I mean, obviously, we talk about the final chase and everything being a bit much, but like that alone is perfectly.
Yeah, they do give Colmini one other shitty line where he's like, "We should have shot him down over the desert, Larkin. Now the visual casualties will be enormous." I'm like, yeah, no one could deliver that line well. Like it's just so like he just say like, now we'll get loads of people killed, you fucking idiot, or something like in his Dublin accent. That would have been. Did you ever see that thing, Roddy Doyle's Star Trek?
No.
Oh, because you know he was in Deep Space Nine. They've a load of like. There's a bit where he's like, you know, he's like the electrician.
Oh, it's in a meme, like, is it?
Yeah. The guy used to he released one a day for like a month, but he had a great one where like it's him with like some, you know, fake sci-fi
speech
gadget,
bubbles,
and he's like, and the speech was like, for pain in me hole fixing this poxy shite. And it's fucking because it's so incongruous with the Star Trek thing, but it's Colomini at the same time.
Because anybody outside Ireland would not get that. Because they just hear the American accent or the English accent or whatever.
He does actually play that character kind of Irish, but he doesn't really lean into the accent. He's brilliant in those shows. Non-submersible units.
Non-submersible units. Me heart really wants to pull and say Dave Chappelle because I will never forget him. But I do have to give it up for just the main man, Nicolas Cage as Cameron Poe. I think the choice, I think
that's fair,
the hair choice, the accent, how he plays it.
Yeah,
it's just, I think it's perfect. Like I think if you're talking about peak caginess and peak performance, I think Nicolas Cage and Con Air, it doesn't get any better. Like, you know what I mean?
Fair play. Yeah, I'll go with the scene where they introduce all the lunatics coming off the bus. It's just so. Again, the film gets a lot of stick, and I'm like, this is dialogue and shots and images and actors, and it is cinema. Like whatever you can say, it's fucking high art or whatever. It's not, but it's getting a reaction out of me, and I watch it, and I am legit.
But
like,
what is art other than to evoke an emotion?
I know, yeah.
Like,
it is kind of wanky now and all this, and it's been hijacked by people who are wankers and all this. But like, I don't know what else to say except I am in awe of the filmmaking in that scene. It's a legit, like, fucking amazingly directed scene. There's no other. The music is amazing. The shot choices, the choreography of everything. It's great stuff. It really is great.
So rating?
4.
4. I got 4 as well. High 4.
I give it a flat 4. But I don't want to diss it now.
I think it's my heart. It'd be hard. I just love this film. This was such a big film for me. Like, do you know what I mean? This is like between this and Face Off, where like the DVDs were broken. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
okay.
I just on repeat. Like.
Yeah, well, there's so many individual bits in this that are great. Like they're set pieces unto themselves. Like they're not necessarily action set pieces, but truly like a product of a wonderful system of filmmaking, in my humble opinion. Anyway, this kind of reminds me of something they would have made in the 40s with that kind of like, we need something with this, but it's got to have an angle. He's got a kid. He wants to get home to the kid. Yeah, there's a guy on the plane. He's like this. Yeah, it'd be really good. Give him a show. That kind of a mentality, as opposed to what are the focus group saying about?
Actually,
yes,
we completely missed Garland Green escapes.
Oh fuck yeah!
He's the only one who escapes, and he's shooting craps in Vegas.
And I do remember Roger Ebert's review going, the end of this film has the characters an assorted crew of rapists and psychopaths smiling at it's shots of all these guys like smiling. Some of them are outtakes and stuff. And actually, we did skip over Danny Trejo's demise, which is I do like Cage's line: "Do not treat women like that." And I'm like, oh, that just seems. It doesn't seem like it's trying to put on a show for the audience.
It seems like that guy would say that.
Seems like what he'd say, and I did like the touch of when they find him and he's dead and they carry him away, but his arms hanging there. And it's, again, I am not saying it's fucking high art. It's the arm with the tattoos on it. There's a visual meaning and symbolism going on there. It's not fucking.
Don't
subtle.
be getting upset over because someone said that we're fucking.
Well, it's not subtle and it's not deep.
That's
but
what I feel like you're doing. Stop! No,
it is
subtle.
symbolism.
It is subtle and it is deep.
I wouldn't call it subtle, but it is symbolism. Like, I don't know that it's
no, but it is. You're just getting nervous because we got abused on the internet.
Yeah, well, that guy's opinion means a lot. And he shouldn't go fuck himself, Keith.
Did you ever hear the theory that Garland Green is Steve Buscemi's Garland Green is in The Big Lebowski?
That's Donnie.
Yeah. It's a walking theory, like.
Maybe.
That he won a few quid in Vegas.
They look similar. No? Yeah. We can say that. That's interesting.
Yeah, no, it is cool. Like, it's just one of them fan jokes. Like, you know what I mean? But,
interesting.
Yeah. Because think about the time, like, there was no internet, there was nothing. He moves to the other side of the country. Are people really going to recognise him? Like, you know what I mean? He's so meek. Like, are people going to assume this guy's a serial killer? Perhaps
not, yeah. Sound off in the comments about that one,
guys. Know.
Yeah.
So, on that bombshell.
Oh, indeed, yeah.
So we'll bid you due for another week. Get us on Facebook, Twitter, especially Facebook, because we're making $1 there now.
Yeah, Instagram.
We're up to $2 now. We're up to $2 now. TikTok, Instagram, the lot. Yeah, and we'll catch you on the next one.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.